Hiya! It always takes a little while, I think, for the live to actually pop up and say that we're live. So I'm just waiting with my laptop here. It'll give me a notification to say that the video is live in the Facebook group. It's just done that now. I'll click through on there, then mute my computer, and that way I can check that there's anyone here and that it's all working okay. So welcome to Friday's session. My camera's a little bit wonky there, I'll just straighten it up. Feel free to comment to let me know if you're here, although sometimes it doesn't actually show me till the end anyway, so let's see how the tech is feeling today. And then when you do arrive, you can always bring a cup of tea, drink of water to have with you by your mat. We're eventually going to get started in a seated position. So that can be cross-legged, maybe sitting on a pillow to elevate the hips a little bit, can be more comfortable for some people. And take a bit of time here to wiggle around so you can really sit into the bowl of your pelvis and find your seat. You could even rock forwards and backwards slightly, getting that sense of being a little off balance so that you're better able to orientate yourself to a feeling of being in your centre. You can then place your hands palms down to rest in the lap on the knee and roll the shoulders up, back and down a few times. Notice how that feels. Maybe a little crunchy, maybe there's a bit of tension going on there. You can also alternate if that feels more interesting. Then we'll inhale to squeeze the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Big sigh out the mouth as you let them drop down. From there, the invitation is to either take the gaze lightly down the nose or close the eyes. As always, we'll take these first few moments to ground into bodily sensations. So, how does it feel for the base of your body to be resting on the ground? Maybe you feel a sense of the seat bones heavy, and perhaps a sense of lightness through the crown of the head, as the chest also lifts a little bit up, shoulders down, finding length through the whole of the back body. Let the belly be soft. And feel the breath. Notice how deeply you are naturally breathing today. Sometimes the breath can get a bit stuck up in the chest. Explore if you can send the breath down to fill the rib cage, to fill the belly. You might take a moment here to notice how you're feeling, how you've arrived in this space. Could have been quite a busy day, maybe a slow start to the day. Either way, welcome yourself to the mat just as you are right now, right here, right now. And depending how you feel, what you need, you can stay resting in stillness for a few moments whilst I introduce the topic of today's class. Or if you want to get a bit of movement in, you can wiggle the shoulders around, you can reach the arms up. You might actually want to do a bit of squeezing the hands, the flesh to the bone on the arms. So I'll leave that to you to tend to your body in your way as I introduce the topic. So we're going to be looking at building resilience today. And resilience is like the capacity to bounce back from difficulties, the ability to withstand all the different challenges that we might face. It can refer to both physical, emotional, which of course can be linked. So yoga is one of many effective ways to build resilience for lots of different reasons. Yoga practices can really create the conditions for the nervous system to regulate. And what we can do with our flows is put the body under just a little bit of stress, but in a controlled setting. And then winding down into relaxation as well, working with more restorative breath practices perhaps towards the end in Shavasana, or maybe to ground at the beginning or take pauses throughout. And so by balancing out this activation and this relaxation, we can start to explore balance and bouncing back from bits of stress. So what we're going to do first is a few bits of core to begin with. So you can come on down to your backs. So popping down with the feet on the floor, the head on the ground. Let's wiggle the shoulders right down. Pop the knees above the hips. Have the shins parallel to the ceiling, thereabouts. And start to notice here a feeling of flattening the back, the lower back particularly, into the mat. Inhale, feel the belly balloon out with air, and exhale to deliberately draw the belly down towards the back on that exhalation. This is what we're going to be working with our exercise, that type of breath. But first we're going to interlace the hands beneath the base of the skull, then have the elbows drawing in towards each other and up to the ceiling. We'll lift the head, the shoulders off the mat. There can be a slight sense here of almost like tucking the tailbone up. We'll inhale at center and exhale, reach the right elbow up and over to the left knee, kick the right heel away so that leg's at like 45 degrees. And then inhale back to center, the knee comes back over the hip. Exhale, left elbow up and over to right knee, kick the left heel away, draw the toes back, and really let the head sit back in the hands. Inhale to center. Exhale, right elbow up and over to left knee, right heel kicks away, straighten the right leg, reach the shoulders off the floor if you can. Inhale, center. Exhale, left elbow to right knee, kick the left heel away. Inhale, center. Keep going with these, or feel free to take a quick break if you need to. And if this is all feeling actually a bit too much for where you're at today, you can also do toe taps instead as another option. Still feeling into the core. Really great to take different options depending what you need. If you're going with the reaching up and over, keep going, couple more. And again, feel for resting the head back in the hands so you're not crunching in the neck. Going to do one more on each side, so follow your pace. Then press the feet to the floor, let the knees knock in. Take the arms wide and take a breath. Really relax the belly here. Feel the rise and fall of the navel with each breath. Good. From here we're setting up for bridge, so let's take the feet about hips width apart, up by the hips. You can even lift the toes off the mat, spread them, replant them down. We'll take the arms by the sides of the body, keeping the face relaxed and the head still. Let's inhale to press the hips up towards the ceiling, root down through the feet. We're coming into our bridge. And there's a sense of the shins and the knees reaching forwards and away, whilst the thighs internally rotate. Feel for planting firmly down through the feet, so much so that the hips maybe have a sense of lightness and lift as they reach up. Relax the jaw, relax the forehead. And as always, you've got options. You can stay holding this, or you can take movement. So exhale to come down, pause a moment, and then inhale to come up, and exhale down. So your choice. You might like the sort of feeling of strength building element of keeping in the stillness, noticing structure. Or you might be interested in the flow of movement with the breath. Either way, you've got a few more moments here. If you were taking the coming up and down with the breath, you're going to meet us in bridge again. And we're going to lower down in 3 parts of the breath. So inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower just the upper back down. Hips are still a little lifted. Inhale, deep breath in, fill the belly, the rib cage, the chest. Exhale, mid-back lowers down. Just the lower back is off the floor now as you inhale, deep full breath in. Exhale, lower the whole of the back into the ground. Let's hug the knees in, rock slowly back and forth. From there, pop the feet in the air, the hands in the air, and you can give everything a bit of a vigorous shake here. Like a bug on its back with its legs flailing about the place. From there, option to hold behind the thighs near the knees and take a few rolls up and down the back. Or you could also roll to one side and pick your way up using the support of the hands. Gonna pop the legs out in front so that the body is in an L shape here. Now let's flex the feet. We'll draw the little toes back towards ourselves and feel for reaching away through the inner arches of both feet. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Inhale to reach the arms all the way up. Exhale to hinge from the hips as you lift the chest and the ribs up and over the legs until you let yourself rest here. I'm going to take a few breaths in our forward fold before we continue this on into a bit more of a core exercise. So you can feel here for moving the breath. You can see our back's quite rounded where I am now, but I'm going to inhale to find length all through the back, feeling for lifting the chest up and over. And then exhale to rest there with the head relaxed, the face relaxed. So I've got this length in my back. Okay, let's stroke the hands up the legs as we inhale back to seated. So the hands on the thighs. Going to bring the arms by the sides now, out wide, and exhale to slowly lower down, engaging the core, rotating the pelvis under as you lower onto your backs. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead behind you. Exhale, reach the arms up above the shoulders, and let's slowly see if we can use our core to roll all the way up to seated. You can always use your hands on the ground for extra support. Inhale, arms all the way up, find lots of length. Exhale, hinge from the hips, we're coming up and over with the chest. Inhale, stroke the legs with the hands as you roll to center. Exhale, palms wide, hands wide, fingers spread, slowly lower down, as slow and controlled as you can. Inhale, arms up and over the head behind you. Exhale, hands above the shoulders, engage the core. We're rolling up to seated. Inhale, lots of length through both sides of the body as you raise the hands. Exhale, hinge from the hips and slowly fold forwards. Inhale, we'll stroke the hands up the legs, find center. Exhale, arms wide and lower down. Remember, you can absolutely use your hands to support you on the ground. Inhale, arms up and over the head. Exhale, hands over shoulders, palms turning in to face each other. Let's lift up. You can always use your hands on the floor. One more time. Breathe in, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, stroke the arms either on the legs or the floor. By the sides. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, arms up above the head. Exhale, reach your arms forward and roll up. This time we're going to hold our forward fold, so it's up to you if you want to make this with the knees bent. It can be dropping the head over, supporting the head, or you can really come into that feeling of stretching the back of the legs by flexing the feet and having the legs out long. Either way, take a moment to recenter your focus on the feeling of the breath. So inhale, belly fills, ribcage expands, feel the upper back puff out. Exhale, everything releases. You can even take a big sigh out the mouth on the exhale. Inhale, expansion, fullness. And exhale, big sigh. When you're ready, we'll inhale to roll back up. We're going to take the feet to the floor, the hands behind us, roughly beneath the shoulders. Fingers can point towards the hips or out to the side, whatever feels most comfortable. And we're going to do a series of lifts with the breath. So as we inhale, we press the feet down, the knees reach forward, the hips lift. Exhale, slowly lower, back to the ground. Inhale, root down through heels of the hands as you lift the hips. And exhale to slowly lower. Inhale, lift. Maybe imagine there's a little rope from your core, from your lifting you up. And exhale, lowering you down. This time as we inhale, there's a chance to hold. So we're really planting down through heels of the hands, reaching knees forward, lifting hips. And maybe it feels comfortable to let your head go a little, to open through the front of the neck, or maybe you keep the chin more tucked like me. 5, 4, keep the breath nice and steady. 3, 2, inhale. And with the 1, let's exhale to lower down. Take the legs into a wide diamond shape. You can have the soles of the feet together, the knees out to the sides. And we're going to find our hands on the inner arches of the feet. You can apply a little bit of pressure there if you like before we come into our fold here. So giving a squeeze up and down the arches of the feet and wherever else feels interesting for you. Maybe a little bit on the heels, the big toe mounds. When you're ready, let's inhale here. We're going to find length through the back again. And exhale, allow yourself to fold forward. So this could look all different ways. It could be that you're more seated up like this with the head dropped. And maybe for you the head comes to the feet. Neither way is right or wrong. Sense into your body and where you're at, so long as you relax the face. And maybe take a deliberate yawn if you like. And really feel for letting the forehead relax. That point between the eyebrows in particular is relaxed. Inhale, let's slowly come back up. Exhale, take your hands to either knee and bring the legs in. We'll cross the legs over so we can roll into all fours. I'm going to pad the hands down beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Let's inhale to arc the belly down, have the chest face forwards. Exhale, round through the back, gaze down the nose towards the belly as you round the back. Inhale, belly down. You could even bend the elbows a little bit, then lengthen the arms as the chest faces forwards. Exhale, round the back. Keep moving through your cat-cows. You can add in little wiggles side to side. Any types of movement that is interesting. There might be a particular part of your body that you want to stretch here, perhaps the wrists. And then we are going to plant the hands beneath the shoulders really firmly. Spread all of your fingers. Get a nice solid connection between all corners of the hands and the ground as you tuck your toes under. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, draw the core in. Press the hands actively into the floor, so much so that the knees start to hover just above the mat. Keep pressing the floor away. Take the gaze down your nose. Back of the neck is long. And hold for as long as feels doable for you. So find a way to get curious about where your edge is at. And it's absolutely fine to come down whenever you meet that edge. So I'm going to leave you a little bit of time in case you can hold a bit longer than me. But whenever you are ready, you're going to take the knees about as wide as the mat, have the big toes to touch. The heels are making a cushion for your bum. You can always put a real cushion between there if they don't touch. And then we're walking the hands forward for a child's pose. Forehead resting on the mat or a block or a pillow. Option to stack the hands as little fists beneath the forehead if it's more comfortable. Relax back here. Inhaling to feel the breath spread through the back, spread through the body. Maybe sighing out the mouth on the exhale. Option to stay resting in your child's pose if you're really enjoying that and you feel like, actually, I want to be close to the floor, I want to rest. Or if you're still feeling like exploring a little more dynamic, you can come into your downward facing dog. So spreading the fingers, making that firm base with the hands in your down dog, and perhaps pedaling through the legs one by one, bending into one knee as you drop the other heel, and lift that heel, bend into that knee as you drop the other side. Then you can find a place where you can rest in your down dog, so maybe a little bend in the elbows and the knees, a sense of pressing the belly towards the thighs, letting the head drop. Gently shake the head yes and no, and relax the face. Few deep full breaths here. Then if you were in your child's pose, you can come up to down dog here for a transition. Going to step our left foot forward beneath the hands, lower our right knee down. Inhale to reach up for our lunge. Take a moment here to perhaps press down through that front foot and maybe a little down through the back shin. Inhale here as you reach the arms up. Exhale, take the right hand beneath the right shoulder, the left hand to the left hip. Option to keep the hand on the hip or peel the hand open so that you've got a long arm through that left side in your twist. Then inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to pick up your left foot off the ground and take it all the way to kick back to the back of the mat, finding a side plank that is supported. You can always reposition everything a little bit to get comfy here. Probably want your right knee roughly in line with the inner arch of your back foot. You can stay with your right knee on the floor, or if you feel like it, there is the option to pick that leg up and squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other in your side plank. Steady breaths here. If you feel like you can't keep the breath steady, then pop the knee down and do support yourself to be able to breathe fully. Inhale where you are. Exhale back to all fours. Option to move through a few cat-cows here as your pause between sides. Or you can come into your downward facing dog. Maybe moving through the legs or coming into stillness. So a moment of pause between sides in your way. Then whichever one you've gone for, we're going to step our right foot forward this time and our left knee down. Let's come up into our lunge. This time press down through right foot, maybe press down through left shin slightly. So grounding through the base, lift lightly through the fingertips. You can even give your fingertips a wiggle here. Inhale to reach up, reach up, reach up. Exhale, left hand comes down. to the side. Or you can start actually with that right hand on the hip. Maybe you keep it there. Or open to the side. Few full breaths in your twist. Inhale here. Exhale, keep rooting firmly down to the left hand as you take your right foot all the way back to rest on the ground in your supported side plank. You can always readjust the legs a bit. You might want to kick out the left lower leg as like a kickstand. And same as the other side, feel free to keep your leg on the floor or to maybe lift it up into your side plank, squeezing the inner thighs in towards each other, engaging the core. Lightness through the right hand, planting firmly through the left hand. You can always drop the bottom knee. Inhale here. Exhale back to all fours. This time we will all do cat-cows. Inhale, belly arcs down, chest forwards. Exhale, round through the back. Keep following your cat-cows, noticing every bit of movement. And again, feel free to veer off track. You can take big circles, like you've got a paintbrush coming out your belly and you're drawing circles on the mat. Then I had loads more planned for the flow, but I've just seen the time. It's already time to come down into Shavasana. These go really fast. So get yourself comfy in your Shavasana. If you like, you can have your legs up the wall. If you do have a bit of wall space or maybe a sofa at home to stack the legs on. Can be really supportive and restful, this posture. Now I'll come a little closer to the camera so that I can make my voice a bit softer. Now that we're winding down into relaxation mode. So you might have grabbed a blanket or some socks to stay cozy. Anything that triggers signals of safety for you. Which means that you can keep your eyes open, you can close them. It's really about supporting yourself to take a moment to explore space and rest within your window of tolerance. Let the back body feel heavy, pressing down into the mat. Feel a sense of lightness and lift with the inhale as the belly rises. With every exhale, perhaps allow a sinking sensation through the back body. And with every inhale, there's that filling up sensation of the breath. You might like to use as a resource here, visualizing a space that feels really safe and supportive for you. Whether that's a natural space or maybe a particular place that you have really good, safe memories in. And imagine the feeling of being there, the way that it feels good to you. You're welcome to bring to mind other little glimmers here of resources, of something that makes you feel good and comfortable and safe and well. And know that your body has this innate capacity for resilience already wired within its system. So that's really handy. Inhale, take a deep full breath in. Exhale, and you might want to sigh out the mouth. Start to bring movement back in, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, maybe rock the head from side to side. You could hug your knees in towards your chest, roll on over to one side, then slowly make your way up to seated. I'll invite you to close the practice with me by bringing the fingertips together, the thumbs together, letting the elbows be heavy. There could be a little bit of space between the palms. You can take your gaze to that space between the palms, signaling a place of infinite potential where anything is possible. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale out. And if you like, you can bow your head here, dropping the chin to the chest. A sense of gratitude, of reverence to your body, to the practice. When you're ready, let's inhale, reach the arms up, blink the eyes up to gaze up. And exhale, you're welcome to ground that prayer position down to the floor, thanking the earth and the natural cycles. So well done for making it through today's video, carving out that time and space. Little extra suggestion in terms of the whole building resilience thing is to maybe practice a bit of cold water, whether it's splashing on the face or even a cold shower, maybe even the sea. Imposes a little bit of stress on your body to train resilience through a process called hardening. It can help the nervous system get used to being able to handle moderate levels of stress, helping in the long run to deal with any other kinds of stressful situations we might find ourselves in, because it can help with our recovery process. Getting practice in a safe, controlled setting, just like the yoga. So that's completely optional. Let me know how you go if you do that, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to click end now. Goodbye.